It's always kind of sad to see stuff like this because you never want to see a brand new game come out and there's a lot of hype and potential behind it and it be fake hype or it be fake potential, or the developers not be able to come through and live up to lofty goals. But that's exactly what happened with Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl, which I mistakenly call all the time PlayStation All-Stars, which is not that. Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl is the game, and I put a lot of time into this game when I was on my little vacation that I did have from streaming and regular content on the channel. And the more that I played the game and the more that I compared it and I heard what people were saying, all the clickbait and all the different videos from Super Smash Brothers players, pro players saying that this is the game, this is wave dashing, rollback netcode, this is going to be the game that comes out and maybe even kills Smash or everyone's going to move over to. Now that we're a few weeks or a couple weeks out from launch, that couldn't be further from the truth. I think that Sora and Masahiro Sakurai and Disney put a brawl, a smackdown on Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl's potential to even be anything. And I think that it's not just there. There's other things as well. But before we get into the rest of this video, what's up everyone, OJ here. Welcome to the video. Please hit that like button, subscribe if you're someone new, click that notification bell to get my videos first. And let's go ahead and jump into this a bit more because that was the sentiment that was going around, because it catered to the hardcore audience, because it had the different stages, because they were doing things in a certain way that would cater to a specific group of core Super Smash Brothers players. I think the game developers thought that they could ride that wave to mass popularity, but there's more to games than just catering to a specific audience. There's more to games than just catering to the most hardcore, especially with fighting games. When it comes down to it, you have to do all of the other things. And I think that the Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl team is probably enjoying success. I think this game is doing well. Let's not act like it's not selling at all. I know it's been one of the top eShop sellers. I know that the game has a little bit of a base and people are playing, but the more that I play this game now that I'm back home and I have my good internet and I can play online, the more that I realize that this game is absolutely dead. It literally took me like multiple minutes just to find a singular game, and there wasn't really much other people on. And even when I went into quick play, it was like the same people that I was playing over and over in quick play, and the rollback netcode didn't even work as well as a rollback netcode should work. So it's not just as simple and as easy as, okay, we're just gonna have this, we're gonna have wave dashing, we're gonna have dash dancing, we're gonna have these things that hardcore, Smash players or hardcore competitive players like, and that's going to create a game that everyone goes and plays. I mean, we're seeing it right here, guys, and heck, I flashed the little icon here for those who don't know what we're looking at right now at this point. And I think that's one of the tournaments that was going down. There was this big Super Smash Brothers Ultimate tournament, and then people were looking at who's playing Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl on Twitch, and obviously Super Smash Brothers Ultimate was destroying it. Sora had came out, people are starting to use that in tournament. I mean, I get it, the hype, all of that, it makes sense. But man, it was interesting to see how many people, even some of the Melee community, were trying to rally behind this game to stick it to Nintendo. And I get that they're upset, but using this as some type of fake messiah in order to air out your grievances that you have with the company, which is fine, by the way, which is completely fine. There's definitely some areas where some of these people have some claims to be upset, but to use this game as if you were going to push this game, as if you were going to stream this game, as if you were going to play this game hardcore and really try to rally behind it, it was all fake. It was really all fake, because a lot of these dudes aren't even playing the game anymore. They're not creating content on the game. They're not playing the game. They're not pushing the game. They're not talking about the game. They're not really doing anything with the game, with Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl. So it seemed to me like it was fake at the end of the day, and they're trying to push an agenda and using this game to do so instead of generally being interested in the upkeep of this game and getting a real community around it, which is unfortunate that that does seem to be the case. Now, the more that I played it here as well, there are just such a staggering things missing that make an experience like Smash Brothers, that makes that experience. There's so much stuff missing in this. Nickelodeon has some great IP. Nickelodeon has some great characters. Like, there's some awesome things with Nickelodeon, but when you take away all the sound effects, when you take away the voice acting, when you take away the music, when you take away the items that could be potentially used in a game like Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl, it zaps it of any soul. You know what it really reminds me of? It reminds me of a Super Smash Bros. Melee 20XX mod, where you mod in Nickelodeon characters, or you mod in whatever characters that you want, and then you just play it on stream for fun. That's honestly what this reminds me of. It's zapped of any personality or any real type of, I would say, whimsical nature to it that the Nickelodeon IP brings. When you see Ren and Stimpy, you want to hear the happy, happy, joy, joy song. You don't just want to see like when they finish dancing, when they win the screen. You want to actually see everything. When I use April O'Neil, I want to hear the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles theme song. I want to see, like, when I taunt one of the Ninja Turtles comes out of a sewer or something like that, or Master Splinter, you know, comes by and gives her a nod. Like, all the little charms and little things that make Smash Brothers what Smash Brothers is and why it's grown into the franchise that it is missing. And I think that they forgot the memo on that one. People talk about the roster, and to be honest, for a first game, the roster isn't too bad. A lot of new games have launched with much less, so I'm not really faulting the roster too much, but also you're looking at it from like a huge age gap, right? Demographic, people that grew up maybe in the 90s compared to the 2000s, compared to the recent shows like Loud House and all that. So there is a little bit of a long dynamic, and I guess you get the same thing with Super Smash Brothers, but the difference is that you have the history there, you have the knowledge there. You can go and kind of see, okay, this character was from here, and Super Smash Brothers, this is how you do it here. And Masahiro Sakurai talks about the characters in different types of ways. So there's that knowledge out there, where Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl just doesn't have that. They don't even have little picturettes that tell you, okay, hey, this is this show, it came out this time, it ran for this many seasons. They don't even have that. So even if you wanted to look up in the game where this character comes from or what it's about or whatever the case is, you can't even do that. You can't even do that at all. And that's very unfortunate, because it's devoid of all the other things that you would need in a platform fighter that would make it, to me, the overall package. I think that they have a good base here. I think the gameplay is fun, but the animations for sure are not up to the level that they need to be up to. They're good and it's smooth, it plays okay. I did run into some good online matches here and there, but there was definitely some laggy ones as well. But the animations are definitely a bit of a step down. Sometimes it seems like characters teleport across the screen. Even offline, the movement does seem kind of weird. But if they had all the other things, if they had the music, if they had the actual like cool stuff with items, you know, just being able to mix it up a little bit for the non-competitive players out there. I'm a competitive player. I almost never use the items when it comes to Super Smash Bros., but I still think that it's an important experience into the lore, into what happens, because you have these just different things that are happening from all the different franchises, and it can create a more, I would just say, believable universe where all these Nickelodeon characters are just having at it. So I think that, yes, Sora came in and kind of killed Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl. Yes, the game was hyped up to be more than what it could ultimately live up to, because certain people were pushing an agenda. Yes, the game is missing quite a number of things, and I think that Nickelodeon, I think that there's some blame to be put on them, because yes, I get it, they're a business, they sold a license, they said, hey, you know what, we're just gonna be like, here you go, you get that license, you guys fund it, maybe we'll give you a little bit. But Nickelodeon should have really went in on this. If they were going to sell a license for your IP, you want to bring out something, especially if they're going to do something like this where they're going to be reaching out to the hardcore audience. I think there was some like $10,000 tournaments, they were getting involved in that. You want to make sure that you put out a product that when people see it, it says, whoa, look at all that cool stuff that they're doing with the franchises and these different cartoons. I remember growing up, I can hear the voice acting and everything. You need to invest in that. I get it, it's not something that you could just do very easily. I understand that it's hard to do, to put together all the different voice actors over the course of like a 30-year history or 20-something year history, from like then, you know, Nickelodeon, Nicktoons and all that, all the way up to the newest shows. I get that. That's hard, but at the same time, you are essentially killing your own game when it's showed off on tournaments or when it's streamed, because the more casual audience, which is where most people are going to be, they look at that and say, it's just a bunch of mute sounds. Like, you don't even have the voice acting of the characters. It's nothing. It's just a bunch of mute sounds and just like weird, you know, default punch and kick sounds. And that's that. There's no personality with it. It doesn't give them the nostalgia trip that Super Smash Bros. Would give them. It doesn't give them the nostalgia trip that you would even see with other games like Mortal Kombat or other titles that actually have all the stuff in there with the characters' voices, and you hear the "get over here" and all that type of stuff. That is iconic. You need that in this type of game, especially a legacy game. This is a legacy game. This is legacy IP. This is new IP, but legacy IP. You have some of the most legendary cartoons of all time, like Ren and Stimpy and SpongeBob SquarePants and All Real Monsters, and you need that in there. And I think that's where they messed up with this game. And honestly, I hope they can rebound, because I think that there's many different things they can do to improve the experience. I feel that if they make a second game, obviously getting Nickelodeon to go in, getting Nickelodeon to even get this to a AA game, this right now seems like a indie budget type of game. It seems right around an indie budget type of game. It is not up to that next level, but if you can get it up there to where it has the music, it has the type of stages that would be better fit with what they're doing. I get that there's still stages that are good and everything that are based off of the different franchises, but you guys know what I mean when it comes to certain interactive elements, stage hazards that are better than what they showed off in that game, because the stage hazards and all that stuff aren't very good. So they need something that's kind of better, like the signature poke floats and stuff like that that the games have had in Super Smash Bros. For a while, and other types of stages for the casual audience. Get the music in there, get the voice actors in there, get like the data cards in there to where you can look up where these shows are and where you can watch them and kind of who the characters are. Get all of that, round out the roster in the next game. You can't just have Helga Pataki, put, Arnold, put Gerald in there. You have to have more than just Helga. Get a better roster, and I think that you can have something here. It's a nice first try, but it's not up to the level that it needs to be for a legacy, where you're gathering all these different cool IPs over the course of 20 plus years. It's not quite up there. And that's why Super Smash Bros. Ultimate and Sora just killed it before it can even get started. Not because they launched on the same day in the presentation with Masahiro Sakurai. That wasn't it. It was when people saw the game and they said, this isn't what I'm expecting for these IP. This is not what I wanted for this. So it's unfortunate, but I still feel that they can rebound with the next game, because they do have a good playing game that's fun for the most part. So what are your thoughts on this when it comes to how Super Smash Bros. Ultimate kind of killed Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl? What do you guys think? Let me know in the comment section below. All right, guys, that wraps it up for this video here. Thank you so much for watching. I do appreciate it. Please make sure you hit that like button, subscribe if you're someone new, click that notification bell, and we'll see you for the next video. Peace.